I'm back. I've been off for a couple weeks, but I'm back. So I was just getting this live set up, and I thought I would say hello before I flip it over the other way. I've got a fun Christmas card, snowflake Christmas card with some fun techniques to do today. I've got my tomato juice, which is really yummy. It's good. I haven't had one in a long time, and it tastes so good. Okay, so let me flip this back around now and get it mounted. So bear with, it's going to pop up to my ceiling here. Oh, all right, here we go. Okay. And, oh, look at these cute magnets I found at Dollar Tree. Like, there's a whole package, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all a different color. And I thought they were cute that they point at things. Okay, so you can look at that while I am getting this brought up on my iPad. Ooh, there it is. Is it going to let me click on it? Nope, I'm going to have to go out of there again. I don't know why it does that. I do not know why it does that. Okay, so now let me start over and see if it will let me. I can see it, but it won't let me open it for whatever reason it does that. So silly. That's what happens when you've been gone for a couple of weeks. And okay, I'll just completely close out of YouTube on my iPad and then go back in. For heaven's sakes. It's a bit frustrating. So here it is, but see, when I push on it, nothing happens. So let's see. So I've closed everything. Maybe if I go to like subscriptions or something, go home, go to me, go to my channel, there. Maybe if I go to like subscriptions or something, go home. Let me get the volume turned off. There we go. Now we're cooking with oil. Hi, Danita. I'm having tomato juice that I put pepper in. I always like to put a little bit of pepper in it. And I haven't had a tomato juice. You mentioned tomato juice earlier today, and I thought, ooh, I know we have some. That sounds so good. And it tastes so good. So pardon me while I'm slurping on it. Okay. So I got in an order yesterday from Stampin' Up. As you know, the end of December, it will be the end of me being a demonstrator. I chose to not continue on past the end of December. So I'm just ordering things I want, and gonna be stocking up on like cardstock, and I have a few stamp pads that I need to replace and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm going to show you what I got. So I got this Snowy Delights, which I'm going to be using today. And it's a really big snowflake stamp. And then it's got some very pretty sentiments in here and some extra little snowflakes. And then in the bundle, you get, if you get the bundle and save 10%, you get the dies, and these are the dies. So you get this gorgeous snowflake, all these little ones, this oval, which the joy to the world and a warm hello sentiments will fit in, and then any other sentiments that you have that fit in there you can use. And then this is a 3-piece set here. So I think you could actually make a shaker out of this, but you have this snowflake, and then you've got the background, and then another background, but the backgrounds will fit around this snowflake, that snowflake, and the stamped one. Okay, so that is that. So that is called Snowy Delights. And then I got the this paper, the Elegant Pine Snowflakes, and there's a set of another snowflake set that actually goes with this paper, but you know, like they say, every snowflake is different, so it doesn't really matter. This snowflake paper goes fine with this set too. And I just happen to like the size of this snowflake. The other snowflake set doesn't have ones as big as what comes in this. This would be a great size to make ornaments with too, I think. So that's why I chose this set, but I'm going to show you this paper. It's really gorgeous. So you get 2 of each design, and the colors that are in here, which I followed along with some of the colors in here for my card today, are Cherry Cobbler, Garden Green, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, which is one of the new in colors. It's very much like Old Navy, and Shaded Spruce. Okay, so the backs look kind of like that, you know, frosted glass effect. So there's that. This one doesn't have snowflakes. It's got all the greenery on it, but it still has that beautiful frosted glass look on the back. And then here you have some snowflakes that are made with the pine branches, and there's snowflakes on the back of that. This is what I'm going to use today. And then I think this is gorgeous. It's got all the greenery and berries on the dark background, and then that is the back. And then you've got pine cones and stuff on this one, which is pretty. And there's another frosted glass sort of look. Another dark design here. And then this one's real different, and that's it. Okay, so those are the gorgeous papers, and these are called Elegant Pine Snowflakes. All right, so that was that. And then upcoming in the mini catalog that will go live after in January, I guess. I ordered this set, so you'll have to wait on this one if you want it, but look how cute it is. And that also, this is giving you a preview of the new packaging. Okay, so how our stamp sets come now, like this. This is now how they come. Bigger, thinner. I don't know if you like it or don't like it. They are these plastic envelopes. And so look at these bears, and there's little angel wings you can put on. And what is this? I'm not sure what that is. And there's little kissies that you can put on there on the cheeks. I think those are so cute, and I love this little teddy bear. And a jar. You could put the XOXO in the little label there. And here's a sign, but there's not anything that fits on the sign. So I guess you could like do some cutting and just put kisses on here maybe. I don't know. You would think with the sign they would have put a greeting in here to fit on the sign, I guess. These are photopolymer stamps. Stampin' Up! Is as the red rubber stamps sell out, they are only going to do photopolymer from now on. So let me open this and you can see you have this big giant envelope and here's the stamps. Why? Why? I ask you that. Okay, I don't know, but this is how it is. So I know a lot of people who have had like bookcase style shelving, how they store their, like, you know, like a DVD shelves or whatever, are now going to baskets that they put these in and then have to flip through. I don't know. Here's the dies. So you've got dies that cut out all the little bears. Now, I am assuming that these are balloon strings. That's my best guess. There's a heart in here where there's not one individual heart, so you could pretend that those are balloons, I guess. There's one that cuts out a jar, but it doesn't, maybe it's the same jar. There's a banner, you can make a kissing booth, which is really cute, and another. I haven't compared the dies to the stamps to see if that cuts out that sign. But yeah, there's dies that pretty much cut everything out here, so that's cool. And these are called Valentine Kisses. Very cute. And then I ordered this set. Look how ginormous this is. Okay, this is like almost 7.5 inches wide, or just over 7, I guess, by 10 3/4 inches tall, pretty much. These are the party banners dies, and look how many you get. There's 20 dies in here. That includes the little holes, so you can put a hole up in each corner. These are handy because it would slide right into the corner, so you can line them up perfectly. Or there's this would create hole saver things. You could make a large card out of this biggest die here by hanging the very top edge of it over the fold of your cardstock and run it through your die cutting machine that way. Then it wouldn't cut this top line out, and you could create a banner shaped card that way, which would be fun. Or you can turn it this way. So yeah, I kind of wanted this set. I saw something that somebody made and I thought, oh yeah, that would work good for that. I like that you get the bigger sizes of it, so you can do like a whole card front with those. Oh, and back to the set that we're using today. This set, you also get what they call masks. I didn't wash them off because I planned on using it again today, so I'll wait, and I just like to take them to my sink and wash the ink off. This is part of it. So when you get a bundle, you get the stamps, the dies, and the masks. So I'm going to be using all of those things. And then I just got some dimensionals and a pack of cardstock, and nothing else too exciting, I don't think. So that was it. So let's get started on what we're going to do today. All right, so again, playing with the colors of the paper in the designer paper, I'm starting with a shaded spruce card base, just our normal 4 1/4 by 5.5 size. And then I've got a piece of the Secret Sea, and it is almost 4 1/4 by 5.5. I cut it just slightly smaller, so all there will be is a sliver of that green showing. And then my patterned paper, I'm going to be layering these up, And it's again just cut slightly smaller. I just wanted, because I'm going to be playing with some pretty big designs here with those snowflakes. So that's how that's going to go. But let's get started with some fun here. Let me bring this in, and I've got just a piece of basic white. And I'm going to grab, I think my tape will still hold that I used already. And I'm going to be using those masks, what they call masks, I call stencils. And I'm going to have another little sip of my tomato juice. Oh yes, I should have put celery salt in it, Danita. I usually do that. Well, I don't put celery salt, I put celery seed. Yummy. We're going to go have an early dinner at the Mexican restaurant tonight, so that tomato juice is sort of my lunch. Okay, so there's that. And actually, before I did that, I needed to stamp it. So see what happens when you've been gone for a couple weeks. I'm just going to leave the tape on it. I think it'll be okay. And I'm just using my Misty here to do this time. I've already got that very large stamp mounted up in here. And I'm going to stamp it with the Secret C. All right. So we'll get this inked up. Boy, is it ever blowing here and raining, but really blowing. Can you hear it? Okay, I'm happy with how that turned out, so we will just do that right there and not have to do it a second time. And then I can put this on here. And I'm going to be using that still, and let me grab my blending brush. Okay, so the masks are 4 pieces and they layer. So let me get all of this stuff so I don't get ink on things I don't want it to be on. I'm going to flip them upside down so that I can start with the first one first. And I'm going to line it up here. I made pencil marks before, so let me erase those so I don't get confused when I made my first card. So you want to line it up, and I found with this snowflake that it lined up one way better than the other. You would think it would be just, so this was the side I used before, so this must be, okay, that looks pretty good right there, I think. Okay, so I am going to tape that, but they put these little divot marks up here to help you line up each mask after the first one. And I'm gonna just tape them to my paper here. Okay, let the fun begin. All right, so I'm just gonna ink this up. I don't want it to be real dark, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot of pressure on my brush. And you can do this in any color you want. And if you want to do multiple colors, I haven't tried that yet because I just got this yesterday, so I haven't tried doing that yet, but I bet it would be pretty to do multiple colors. Okay, so I'm going to stop with that. And let me lay this over here. So that's how we're looking after that mask. And now we're going to do the next one. So I'm going to line it up to match the things, and then I'll just adjust. There we go. I think this is fun. Okay, so, and even though I've got my tape on there, I'm still holding it down just in case things want to slip and slide. And the reason why I'm tapping my brush off after I ink it up is because I don't want to get a big glob of ink and have it be really too dark in one spot or something. It's a little bit wasteful of your ink, I know, but it is what it is. I suppose you could have like a piece of scrap paper, or not scrap paper, but cardstock, and you could, after you're done tapping your ink, you could use that for another project or something, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's see here. And you want to swirl it all around so the ink gets in all the little crevices. Okay. So now we are done with that one. Let's see what we have. Ooh. So now we are on to number 3. So this is just adding in fun details. So you can decide how much pressure you want to put on your brush and how dark you want those details to be. You definitely need to make your brush swirl around because I can see where it's like missing on some of the little dots, and then as I swirl it around, it finds those areas. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. Pretty. And now we're on to the last one. Oh, Toddy's whining. He doesn't like the wind, but his dad is out there with him. Sometimes they just want their mom. Okay, let me see if I'm happy with where that is. I think it's okay. Now this one would actually be kind of fun, I think, to use red and go back in there. I'm not going to do that today, but I will have to try that because with all those blues and then the red, the popper red, that would be fun. especially with using maybe one of those darker patterned papers that have the berries on it. Yeah, that would be pretty. So this is just putting some more dots and the little hearts in here. Wow, that wind. Okay, let's see what we ended up with. Pretty. Okay, now those are going to be ready to go to my sink and get cleaned off. Let me get them out of the way. All right. Clean my brush off. Let me have another little sip of my tomato juice. There's not much left. All gone. Oh, that was so tasty. Okay. Now then, oh, that's not what I want. Where's, oh, there it is. Okay, so I want this one. What did I do with my tape? Here it is. After all that, I definitely do not want my die to slip around when I run it through the machine. So let's get it taped on here good. Okay, I'm going to run it through my, this won't fit through my little mini machine, so I've got to run it through my big one. I will be right back. There's our snowflake. And let me see, I know I'm going to want to use the little oval, so I may as well get that out. And I want to use this pretty snowflake. I'm going to cut that one out of a piece of Pretty Peacock. I know, weird colors for snowflakes, but trust me. Just trust me. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are all good wherever you are. Okay, I'm going to run this through my machine, and I'll be right back. Now you could use that as a stencil if you wanted to. You could always cut one out of a piece of plastic and make your own stencil too, since there's not one for this particular snowflake. Okay, let's pop this out. Poke out all the little bits that we don't want. There's something about poking all these little pieces of paper out that are really satisfying. Okay, so there is that. So we can set those aside, and then let me bring this piece in. Now, I made my card base out of shaded spruce, which is this color, and I'm going to use this color to put my little sentiment on. And so I'm going to just heat emboss that with some white. So let me use my embossing buddy here so my embossing powder won't stick where I don't want it to stick. And I've got my stamp mounted up here, Joy to the World, and I'm going to ink it up with some Versamark ink, which is a clear pigment type ink. I'm going to put it right there because I'm going to be cutting it out with that oval die. There we go. And here's my tray and my powder. You don't have to have a tray like this. You can use a piece of lightweight copy paper to put your powder on over, or a coffee filter. A lot of people use coffee filters, and then they can just pick either of those things up and put your powder back into your jar. I have just had this little tray for a long, long time. Okay, so there that is. Let's get it heated. Wipe that powder back off. I don't like it when I hear big bangs when the wind is blowing so hard. That scares me. Okay, so let's get this on here. Okay, I think I like that position right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and run this through my big machine. I'll be right back. And this die makes a fun little dotted stitch pattern around the outside edge. Very cute. Okay, so there's that. And then I have a piece of white for the inside of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stamped. And I'm going to just stamp it with the Secret C. When you're stamping with, I know I've mentioned this before, but for new people that might be watching, when you're stamping with the photopolymer stamps, you need to have some sort of cushion under your paper. Red stamps have the red rubber stamps, most of them have the cushion already on them, so you don't have to worry about that. But oh, look at all the ink I got on my block. That pad is very well inked, and I was getting carried away with it. But anyway, yeah, photopolymer stamps don't have the cushion already on them, so you just need to have a little bit of cushion under them. Pretty. Okay, let me set this aside, and now we can put the card together. I'm gonna bring I love my little glue gun, or glue press, that's what it's called. All right, so I'm not gonna use it for some of these layers, but I will be using it. So I'm gonna just use my ATG, maybe. There we go. Make sure I've got my card turned right. That wouldn't be too good. Now, since I have such a tiny little sliver of a border, I want to make sure I've got this lined up right where I want it before I let go of it. There we go. Because you can just barely see the green, but it's there enough that you can see it. So that's the important part. Okay, and then our pretty snowflake paper. Now I cut this piece slightly smaller than I did on when I was designing this card. I let it have a little bit more of that blue border showing for this one than I did on my original, because I just didn't think there was enough of that blue border showing. Okay, so there we go with that. Now then, hi Angela, hi Sue. Oh, your power's going out, Sue. Well, fortunately we still have power here, or I wouldn't be doing this, right? I hope ours doesn't go out. Okay, so this is so handy for these really, what do you want to, I can't think of my word. These skinny little tiny pieces. What's the word, you guys? I know you're shouting it out at me because that's what I do at videos. Intricate. See? You guys said it loud enough that I heard it. And I want to get a little bit of glue on all the pieces because I don't want anybody, when they get this card, to catch their fingernail on it or something like that and tear it off. That wouldn't be good. Do you guys keep your cards that people make and send to you, or do you throw them away? Well, I keep them. And when we went through my mom's stuff, she kept all the cards I made for her, and when we went through it, guess what I did? Threw them away. But that is what it is, right? I bought some old-fashioned like scrapbooks to glue all the cards into that I've saved over the years, and I'm talking not just ones people made. Do you think I've done it? No. But when I was a kid, and I'm sure I must have it somewhere, although I haven't been able to find it, my mom did that. She made a scrapbook that had the cards that people had given me glued into them. And back then, I mean, the vintage old cool cards, you know. And I wish I could find it, but I haven't been able to find it, so something may have happened to it. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know if I will end up gluing cards into those scrapbooks or not, because who's going to want them? I don't know. What I like about saving them are like, well, for instance, my mom's not here anymore. So I've got cards she gave me with her handwriting in them and stuff, you know? It's that kind of stuff. Okay. So this is going to go on here like this. Alrighty then. Now then, this one is going to go down here like this. And I'm gonna chop part of this snowflake off. So I wanna chop, okay, I know where I wanna chop it. Let me bring my cutter in. Angela, your mom has a giant book with all your cards from your baby shower. Aw, how fun. Oh good, I'm glad I'm not the only one that keeps cards. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on here and line this up and chop some of it off. That looks about right. And I'm not gonna throw this piece away. I'm going to put it on the inside. Eek. For a fun little bit of decoration inside my card. Bring the outside in, as they say. All right, here we go. And I am just going to put it right here. Slide it over so it's on the edge. That looks good. Cute. Okay. Now this one, let me get some dimensionals on it. Oh, I hope our power doesn't go out before I get done here. I should move along. I can only go so fast. How are we supposed to go eat Mexican food at the restaurant if the power goes out? Power needs to stay on. All right, so there we go with that. Okay, so let's get this on here. I want to line it up along the edge with the patterned paper. And I think that looks good. There we go with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in because we still have decorating to do on the front, which is going to totally jazz this card up. Now when I designed this card, originally I had used some white glitter paper to put behind that snowflake that I just put on there, the one I popped up. And I did not like it at all, so I decided to just ditch that idea. I thought it was really going to look pretty, and it didn't. So okay, and then this is going to get glued flat. Right down here. Okay, now for the fun part. I've got some Stardust stickles, and I've got the traditional sparkling sequins. I think I will do the sequins last because inevitably, look at that, I managed to get that word out. I will stick my finger in the stickles. Okay, so these are going to go in these spots. And then I'm going to do a bigger one in the middle. And I'm going to do a little one just right down here. Okay, so that is it for those. And then the stickles, I'll start in the middle and go out. I like to do my stickles and then set it aside and just let it dry overnight. You don't really have to give it that long, but that's usually, excuse me, usually what I do. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at my other one to see what all I did. Oh, I missed some. Okay. I get to doing things and concentrating and then I forget to talk. There's still sound. Okay, so I think that is all the spots I did. I didn't do the hearts. Yeah, that's it. So I hope the sparkle is coming through because it just looks so pretty. And here is the first one I made, which is all dry. It's gorgeous because the stardust over that blue, it just picks up the blue and green colors in there. And these light green ones just give that icy look. So pretty. Now I've got 2 more cards done. Now this, my original one turned out a little bit darker than the one I did today. So it's just all in, you know, when you use that mask, how much pressure you put on and what you want it to look like. I'm happy with both of them. Pretty. Okay, let's do story time. I sort of forgot about it for a minute. It's been so long. I feel like it's been forever. We are in the little book of Zen. As soon as you have made a thought, laugh at it. Power of mind is infinite while brawn is limited. If you are too excited by joy, later you will have to cry. Those who seek the truth by means of intellect and learning only get further and further away from it. Not till your thoughts cease all their branching here and there, not till you abandon all thoughts of seeking for something, not till your mind is motionless as wood or stone, will you be on the right road to the gate. If your mind is empty, it is always ready for anything. It is open to everything. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. One man cannot do right in one department of life whilst he is occupied in doing wrong in any other department. Life is one indivisible whole. Mischief all comes from much opening of the mouth. We'll stop with that one. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I'm sorry about being gone for a couple of weeks. Maybe was it 2 or 3? I've lost track. But anyway, here we are back again. And it's the holiday season. I'm still working on getting stuff done for the bazaar, which is only like, what, two weeks away. 2 weeks, too. I've still got stuff to do. Anyway, have a great rest of your week. I hope you get to have some crafty time. If your power's out, I hope it comes back on soon. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you all for being here. I really super appreciate it. If you could give me a thumbs up up, that would be great. And leave me a comment, not here on, I mean, I appreciate the comments here on the chat, but if you could leave me a regular comment, that helps my channel to be seen. And yeah, share it if you'd like to do that too. That would be awesome. And I'll just see you on my next video. Take care, you guys. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.